And I would say to you on gentrification, that's why complete communities again. We want people to stay in their neighborhoods. But they can't stay if you can't afford the home. If you can't afford the home, you got to go. So we've got to build affordable housing. And then we got to give people better job opportunities and pay them more. I was at the airport yesterday talking to about 200 employees at the airport, my airport. And they were telling me that some of them, working with either companies, were making $7, $8, $9, $10 an hour. And they said, Mayor, this is at your airport. And on your watch. And I said, I got it. I got that. Okay? And on my watch, we're going to change that. Okay? Because you can't just have affordable housing if people are not in the position to be able to afford the house and the electricity and the food. Okay? So I'm looking at a realtor right here in this room. You know? President. And so we've got to work together so we don't have gentrification. We can't build a city for everybody else and we lose out. And that's why I tell people, since State of Black America, State of Black Youth, that's why I tell people that have gone to the lands. The diaspora is over. It's time for you to come home. No disrespect if you live in Pearland, Woodland, Sugarland. No disrespect. No disrespect. But it's time for you to come home. And we've got to build a city that you feel comfortable living in, because the school system will not improve until you are in the neighborhood, okay? And so I just got to do a better job of convincing you it's time to come home. Okay?
Well, so part of the issue is, of course, where does affordable housing end up being placed? If it's all in one place, we know what that's going to turn into. And now the state gives some affordable housing credits, and you get points. And the realtors in the room know this, and the developers in the room. So you get points for support from your local elected officials. And they're very competitive tax credits, and they're very good. So you give those tax credits to a developer, and they will absolutely move an affordable housing project through. The problem is that we don't have it set up to provide that support from the local representatives to where we get enough points. And that's something we're trying to tackle at the county. So we just this week promoted, and we worked with the mayor's team so that the county can get those applications come to the county. We can approve it. We can put our stamp of approval. And we are doing that with an understanding of where there is affordable housing in the county, so that we're not concentrating it and contributing to gentrification and contributing to these pockets. Like you said, we need mixed income housing. We can't just write off communities and say it's this all gonna be affordable housing, this all gonna be gentrified. We have to be smart in the way we grow. And so we're being smart and taking that step. I'll mention too, part of it, and with flooding, is being safe from flooding, not making it harder for everybody else to live either. So the county and the city, we have pretty much the same standards, and we're working on it, and they're the most stringent they need to be for a region in terms of how high you build in the floodplain. We're redrawing the floodplains based on the latest rainfall standards and the latest science. And I'm not afraid to say climate change, and we talk about why that's at the core of what's happening. We're also making sure that the development that's being built is not making things worse for everybody else. So we're working very closely with the developers, and that's coming to this next court, is the most stringent detention requirements so that a new development has to build enough detention to offset any additional flooding they would have created. That is necessary for our homes to be safe. It doesn't matter if it's gentrified, not gentrified, if it's low-income housing, affordable housing or not, if you're gonna flood year after year. So we're being smart, and we're having those tough conversations. And I can tell you, folks say, well, why do we have to have that level of detention? It's gonna be more expensive. I already invested in the land. And I say, I understand that. but we have a moral responsibility to our community. If we know this is the rainfall predictions, if we know this is how much water we have to offset, we can't just cover our eyes, stick our head in the sand, and pretend like this isn't happening. So we're willing to have those conversations, and that's happening right now.